Hi everyone, this is Kavya Christopher for Bangalore Times, and we have here with us Sonu Venugopal. Very excited to meet you,
Same
Sonu,
here.
finally.
Same here. I used to see your name on paper.
Oh.
I was like, how cool must be.
How
Kavya.
look who's saying that.
No, I'm telling you, for every Bangalorean who has read Bangalore Times over the years, your name is synonymous.
Thank you so much. It's
lovely to
really
be
lovely and very kind of you to
Thank
say
you.
that. Thank you. And considering you have been a radio jockey for too long, quite a bit?
No, for 3 years.
Okay.
Yeah.
And what's the transition to what you have become? What was it like for you? Did you have for a radio jockey it's all behind the scenes. You don't have to be in front of an audience.
Yeah.
There's no having to gauge how people are reacting to you. What was the transition like?
It was awkward when I started because I was not used to, as you said, people looking at me when I'm talking.
Yeah.
But also, I was part of radio during that transition when social media had started taking over. So there were mandates from my radio station to make videos. Relatable.
Okay, yes, completely.
So it was not as awkward as I thought it would be because we were in that do this, do that kind of phase as well.
Right.
But what was really exciting for me was, again, I think it was similar to what it was on radio, that every show won't be the same.
Right.
You'll have a really bad show, and then it'll be a good show, and then it'll be an average show. Then it'll be series of average shows, and then one good show again.
Right.
So it's the same here as well.
Right. So how do you deal with a bad show?
Okay, I do sulk a lot.
That's natural.
It's
Should
natural.
also, I think.
And then I thought that by now I would be used to, I'll have a mechanism to deal with it, but I don't. So I allow it. I allow the bad feeling, and then I request my manager. In fact, not request is a very kind word. I pester him to put up another show so that I don't go spiraling, self-doubting myself.
Okay.
So I need something good to happen immediately so that I can forget what has happened.
Right.
Otherwise, it stays with you. Otherwise, you're waiting for that moment where you
back.
you feel that was an exception. That's not what it is.
Yeah.
That was a bad day. But then you are on
And
the
how
right
long? I mean, that would mean a lot of waiting time.
No, not really. I mean, it could be anything. It could be like having a breakthrough, writing a joke, even at home, But artists are very insecure in general, right? I mean, we always feel that, oh my God, it's not enough. What we do is not enough.
What am I doing with my life?
What am I doing with my life? All the time. So you constantly have to. So what I've cracked is to be constantly at it.
Right.
So not every day is going to be 10 on 10. It's going to be 3 on 10. It's going to be 4 on 10. But at least show up.
Okay.
That's what I do.
When you say bad shows, it's only not hitting the joke, not hitting the right
Not
spot.
just a joke. So it's. I mean, there are different types of bad shows. Okay, like one of them is your joke not landing. One of them is
trolling.
No. Trolling is again the after effects.
Right.
But then maybe sometimes the tech is not fine. Maybe but there are days when, irrespective of all of this, you still have a good show. So that's a great aspect of that. And nothing to do with the audience. Actually, the audience is amazing. It's just you have to know how to get through to them because they have come to watch you, right?
Correct.
I mean, they've not come with an intention ki let's see,
do something.
Nobody has that kind of income to like spend like $1,000 to just see what is happening. So audience is always nice. It's just that sometimes there's geographical factors, like it's raining, it's traffic, so they come more stressed. So then you take a little longer to get through. But then once they are there, they're there. So it's fun. I absolutely enjoy that.
Right.
Yeah.
And with respect to the trolling that happens and the comments that come in, how do you, I mean, obviously you might have seen both sides, right? Positive as well as negative.
Yeah.
So how do you draw that line to protect yourself from the negativity?
See, I mean, it's not that trolling is something new. It always existed.
But you always need to keep dealing with that.
The thing is that for me, myself, like if I let myself down, that's a harder way to deal. If somebody says me anything, now I've been doing this for quite some time to feel like, okay, fine, it's okay. You know, so there are three levels, right? They will either talk about how you look, or they will talk about how women are not funny, or next is like, you know, or you know, these are the only four genres that the trolls can operate in. So you are just like, okay, yeah, fine. Sometimes you just out of curiosity, I do click on the trolls profile, and then if it has like some 4 followers, then I know that it has been newly made. You know, but you don't know. You stop over analyzing after a point in time. I mean, it's okay. I block them, I restrict them, I hide the comment, I do my own things, because also the social media has made you, has enabled you to have that filter, right?
Right.
So I don't engage with trolls at all.
Okay.
It's a waste of time.
Okay.
Yeah.
Today, in this age where, you know, comedians are kind of towing the line a little more carefully, there is, you know, freedom of speech for people who are watching as well, right?
Yeah.
So they can say what they want to. They can pick up any clip that you've put up,
Yeah.
and they will react at any point.
Yeah.
I mean, not just something that has just happened.
Yeah. Yeah.
Anything from the past, they'll bring it up and say, "Oh, this was offensive. We are offended now." Where? How do you see yourself? I mean, what is your view, opinion on it, first of all, and then how do you see yourself in that space? How do you have to toe the line?
No, I don't toe the line. My goal is to be just moderately famous. I don't want to be so famous that I become target.
Okay.
Just enough to, like, you know, to be able to sell tickets for my show, to be able to make some money, to be able to put my point across and be funny. I am not looking for pagal type success. I am not looking for success. Again, is different. Fame is what I'm talking about.
Okay.
Like, I just be moderately famous, where they call you once in a while, or they know that you exist, but they don't call you every time.
Where did this come from?
That is my Kannadiga sentiment. Everything is how much necessary, only that much. Don't go above, don't go below. No, but on a serious note, I just feel that, you know, you always target the powerful ones, right? Now, the comedians who have been in trouble are the ones who are very famous. And that also comes from a lot of insecurity of others. Ki matlab, this person has become famous, and then whatever that is, you know. I mean, I see, as much as the fact is true that we like to cheer for others, we also, as human beings, like to pull each other down. There is competition, there is this. So, you know, you just have to be somewhere in between. Like,
That's the trick.
That's the trick. Then why you want crazy success? To be very honest, I am looking for more sustainable career than one peak and then what happened.
Disappear.
No, I don't want to do that, because I enjoy doing this.
Yeah.
So but I don't toe line in terms of what I want to say, or because again, at the same time, you are telling your story, right?
Yeah.
If people are misconstruing it, how is that my problem?
So,
You know, and then yeah, so I don't, and this has always been the case. I mean, even if we study the American history, I mean, because that's the benchmark for everything.
Right.
Unfortunately. No, fortunate. No, we'll not say that. Oh my God, I need my US visa. But what I'm saying is, whatever American culture, the comedy culture was there 50 years back, we are now.
yeah.
So if you're saying that America there's so much of freedom of speech and here it is not there, it has taken them a while to be there. So we are still there. You know, we are, I mean, max to max, it has been what, like 15 years since stand-up comedy became like a
Easily.
mainstream thing.
Easily.
So we need a lot more time, I feel, to be able to say that, you know,
Get the joke
yeah,
also,
yeah,
actually.
yeah.
Maybe.
And also, we are so diverse as a country. What offends you might not offend me. What offends me might not offend him. So it's very complex.
Yeah.
How I, as a comedian, can take everything into consideration while writing joke.
Yeah.
I will only, as a woman, I don't want to punch down. That's my thing. And I don't want to punch, like, you know, I want women to feel safe.
Right.
I don't care about men. They have enough people to look up to or look, whatever.
Right.
I like women.
Okay, great. That's interesting thought process.
Yeah,
Actually.
yeah.
What about women audience? Do you feel what are they like?
They are
What are
lovely.
your responses to you?
They are so, I don't know, okay? I mean, I don't know why. Every time anybody says troll, na, in my head, I only imagine a man,
It is probably a man. Yes.
which is so sad, right?
Yeah.
Because I feel, I mean, sometimes when I do a show, there are bits which might not go down well with some women, but then they have a way of saying it. They'll write, "Hey, I like the show, but this part what you said, I don't know if I'm like, okay, great, very nice." So there is a very nice way of putting across your opinion also,
Right.
without saying anything that hurts the other person.
Right.
So women do that. I think they make that effort to say that, hey, I felt this, but I also like the show. So I'm like, okay, yeah, fair point. I mean, you don't have to like everything that I do. That's
Right.
what democracy is all about, right?
Right.
So,
And in terms of women as stand-up comedians, you are among the very few that we have here also.
I don't think anymore. Like there are a lot of us.
How has
actually.
the change been over the years? How was it earlier, and what is this change that you're seeing now?
Actually, I never looked at it like that.
People
like-
started telling you, "Oh, you're a woman."
yeah, and then they were like, also when they introduce you in all these shows, right? A woman comedian. I think we have to stop that. Just call a comedian, like call a pilot. I mean, you can't say like a woman
Lady
pilot. Like, come on. Like, I mean, I think we've come way ahead.
Yeah.
I hope so. So it really doesn't matter. Gender does not matter. What matters is you're funny or not. And if you are funny, you're funny. If you're not, you can work towards making things funny also.
Right.
So, I mean, if you've chosen this as a profession. Right.
Do other women comedians
Yeah.
get in touch with you for any kind of, feedback,
So the thing is that with the local
advice? Maybe?
No. I mean, really, it's
Nobody wants anything.
I don't think so. I mean, I think there is definitely that sisterhood.
Oh, there is.
Like
Okay.
when there's a comedian who has put up her special, we always will be like, go watch. She's really good and all of that.
Right.
I would do that for men also, but I don't see men doing that as often for women. So we are like, we'll have to make our own community, cheer for each other and everything. But then I think it's very healthy also. And I operate in a regional market, right?
Right.
So there's always exciting, like, we've done shows together because my audience and this other comedian's audience is not the same. So it works out really well in the same auditorium. I do a show first, then she does a show. So we interact like that. See, at the end of the day, irrespective of the language, the process is same.
Right.
You observe things, you write, you try it out, you make a show, you perform. So there's a lot of sisterhood that way for sure.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Has there been any point in your, interactions with people where they've given you actual feedback?
Yeah.
Yeah. And how does that work? Is it usually
I think
based on competition, jealousy? Is there
No.
anything like
so.
that?
As a comedian, the process is very solitary. You have to write, you have to perform, and then maybe feedback comes much later. So it will be something, and the feedback also is very like, I thought you would do that joke, something that they would have heard in a previous show. But the thing is that the show changes, the jokes change, right? We don't do jokes that we put online. But then I don't think the feedback in general is very constructive only. And you also have to see from where it is coming, like the feedback that maybe you should not do comedy is a bad one. But then, like maybe you should change the joke this way, or maybe you should place it after this joke. That is there, and you need one or two people in the industry because that's a little technical to be who will help you.
Right.
So you need one or two people in the industry who will give you that kind of feedback.
Yeah.
Yeah.
This kind of shows, as in it shows you this whole camaraderie. I mean, from what you're saying, there seems to be this entire industry that has grown and is growing very healthily.
I mean, there is no other way because it is new.
Yeah.
And if there is unnecessary, unhealthy environment, it will stop people from coming into it. Because at the end of the day, everybody wants peace, right? I mean, mental health is non-negotiable, right? You want to go home happy.
Right.
content.
Right.
So that is one, but I also feel that, as I said, it's such a solitary process that you meet people very rarely. And the least you can do when you meet people rarely is be nice, right? I mean, yeah. And also I feel our market is so big that there is enough space for everybody.
Right.
So you don't have
Speaking
to.
of market and
Yeah.
also your solitary,
Yeah.
work that you do.
Yeah.
Are you a solitary person? Are you made like that?
No, I'm not actually.
Is that difficult
No, but I have I've done this for quite some time, that I'm enjoying that solitary thing. You know, your thoughts. So the thing is that it's always like, some idea comes to you and then you write it in your notepad. And then, then how does it develop when you're alone? Or sometimes when you're discussing something with your friend, it comes up. So I'm both. It can happen both ways for me. But then when a show is announced, then I want to be alone. Then I
Okay.
don't want any kind of disturbance, because then I have to collate all my thoughts, put it together, and it has to make sense. It has to be funny, and yeah. So I like both.
Right. And as for the market, how big the market is, yours is a niche. Still.
Yeah.
So that makes it slightly smaller.
Yes. But I also like the fact that you can be a shark in that small market.
Lovely.
I like that. I like that. I mean, that's because I also have been that kind of a student when I was growing up. And, I will do everything. I want to be like at the forefront and all of that. So I enjoy that also. But again, I just feel that likability is one thing that draws people to you. And you can't make yourself likable. You just have to be likable. So, and then jokes, of course.
Yes.
But then I think people do look for more now, I think, because they have access to it. They also assume a lot of things when it comes to people who put themselves out there, right? Oh, she must be like this. Oh, she must be like this.
What is the craziest assumption you have heard?
That I'm lying that I have a husband.
Okay.
Because he's not seen anywhere.
Okay.
I don't see. The thing is that that's what I am involved enough to know what's happening, but I'm also cut off from all the other noise. So I really don't know what they're thinking about me, and I don't want to know.
Great. That's perfect.
Yeah.
Good for mental health also.
Yeah, and I think it's so unnecessary. I get news. This is the vibe and all. I'm like, how does it matter to me?
Right.
See, that's what, no. I entered comedy after I got married. So मेरे को ऐसे किसी को, I didn't want to impress somebody so bad. So I entered the scene for the love of it.
Right.
Not to impress the men, the women, or whatever. I wanted to do it. I did it. The validation, etc., came much later. Right. But I did it for the joy of it. And even now, as much as I value the validation that I get, I'm also detached from it.
Okay.
Because I'm like, you say I'm good, great, thank you so much. You come for my shows, I'm really grateful to you. But I'm okay if you don't say that also.
Okay. That comes with that seems a lot more mature. I mean, everybody wants to know how have I done, like somebody who will come and tell
how will you know as a comedian? You'll know when they applaud. You'll know when they laugh.
Right.
Then enough, no.
That's it.
Then what else you need?
And you know when they book your show again.
Yeah, when the show is sold out, that's one stage.
Yes.
Okay. Second is when they laugh.
Yeah.
Third is when they clap.
Right.
Fourth is probably they come for the show again. Enough, no. How much you need?
Perfect.
How much? Like I don't want any like gifts after. Nothing I want. I want you to have a good time. Go back home and get on with your work.
Right.
I'm not looking to be. Of course, the skits, etc. What I do on Instagram, that is from my life, and I do it because I have a little bit of acting kida also. Okay, and because I'm not.
Has that happened? No acting.
I did one film, and I absolutely enjoyed doing it. But then after that, they started giving me those kind of roles only. So I'm like, okay, see, we all want to be heroine, no?
Yes.
Don't we?
We all
We all
are
have
main characters.
Exactly. So I'm saying that stand-up gives me that.
Right.
Like with stand-up, I am the heroine of my narrative.
Right.
I am the leading lady. I enjoy that.
Yes.
And then rest all is a byproduct.
Correct.
Money, fame, success, everything. I enjoy being on stage. I really do.
Okay, so that still is a lot more mature. But what is your ambition? Where do you want to see yourself other than this balance that you're maintaining?
Well, I'm too sorted or what?
Yes,
For an
you
hour.
seem to
My
be.
God, I'm too sorted for. No. See, the thing is, no. See, the thing is that we do get insecure on and off. But is it healthy? Is it helping me write something? Am I converting it into a show? No. So the negativity doesn't see. For some people, no, these emotions help them perform. It doesn't help me. I go in a ditch. Yes. I shell. No, it's like, then you create stories in your head, you can't come out. So I don't do that. Apart from love, happiness, my strongest emotion is revenge.
Okay.
Which I will take.
Okay.
Which I will take. Okay. But how is through my stand-up only?
True that. Yeah. Fair enough.
Yeah. So I don't, it makes me unproductive if I am too insecure and stuff like that. So I avoid it.
Okay.
It's a process. You have to try really hard. कि ठीक है. Or imagine कि मतलब पैसा है इनके पास लेकिन mental peace, there it is.
Yeah.
Look at
I
me.
have it.
That's why I do these interviews where people tell, oh, you're so sorted. Then like, I'm good for 6 months. Oh, I got the validation.
So fun. Now we're doing a good deed also.
Yeah.
Lovely. Yeah. So Sonu, tell me something. From the time you went on stage for the first time till now, what has changed in terms of how you dress, how you appear on stage? What goes into the whole?
I think it's such a process, right? When I used to do it before, I never thought what should be the look and all of that. And then slowly, I'm like, hey, I'm comfortable wearing this. And this also looks good.
Right.
So I'm definitely not somebody who would do something or wear something that I'm uncomfortable in, because I'm spending 90 minutes on stage.
Okay.
And I'm not that well trained to hide that discomfort and do the show. So comfort is definitely one, but I do make an effort to plan the outfit, the glasses, the sneakers that go.
Okay.
So I do all of that.
You didn't say heels for the comfort.
No, yeah.
heels ever.
Okay. Yeah.
Okay. Because the feminine aspect of being on stage as a woman, the whole persona that comes in. Is there a pressure?
Again, I think there comes a point in every woman's life that she doesn't care.
When is that?
It depends from person to person, I feel.
Okay.
And I reached that during pandemic, I feel, where I felt that I don't care.
Okay.
I don't care what you think of me. I don't care what you think of how I am, how I look, how I dress. And I think there is so much of societal pressure in general for women.
Yes.
That you have to develop that thing that, excuse me, I'm so sorry, I don't care. I will do things for my joy, but I don't. And also like this whole thing of, I think I did suppress that throughout my college, to dress up. Because it's always considered vain, na?
Yeah.
Like, you dress up, you wear makeup, you do nails.
You're fake?
Lipstick.
Does that mean fake?
Yeah. It was always given, the perception was fake, na?
Yeah.
And some stupid boys also back then used to say, Merko to, I like girls without makeup than makeup. Like, who are you to say all that? You keep quiet, no? Like, it's at the end of the day a woman's wish.
Yes.
Like, there are days when you feel like, I don't want to put up anything. I just will, like, lather myself with moisturizer and sunscreen and come.
Yeah.
Because that's skincare. And self-care is important.
Yeah.
But I can choose how much of vanity I am selecting for that day. It is not to prove anything. It is again about, for me, it's always about comfort. But I like when things are noticed by women.
Yeah.
I don't care about men. As I've
Coming
told
to
you.
noticing, your makeup is on point. Who did that? Okay.
I have learned. A lot of my Insta algo is full of makeup, skincare, glasses. I follow this lovely lady who lives in the UK. She's 82 years old and she does get ready with me.
Oh.
It's the cutest thing. And then I see my future in her. I'm like, she has so many glasses and scarves and sneakers. And she's today I'm going to get a cup of coffee with my friends. I'm like, that's me. That's me. Like, you know,
Have you done a get ready with me?
no, no, no.
Okay, about
No,
time.
Because I feel it's so hard to talk and do makeup.
Okay.
Because
That's
we are
your
not
skin.
experts, na. Like I have a couple of friends who are makeup artists. So whatever little tips I've gotten from them, I do it. I go with them to pick up my foundation, etc.
Okay.
And then once they select key, these are the things that you can do, I'll do.
Okay.
Sometimes I go a little crazy. I'll do one lilac eyeliner, one blue eye. I do all of that. Okay?
Okay.
But that's for me, my joy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So what goes into the whole skincare routine?
I'm a skincare junkie. Like I really like it, especially when there is one comment in my Insta video. I want to know your skincare routine, but it's actually a good dermat. I'll be very honest. Good dermat, whatever products dermatologist recommends, do that diligently. Don't follow trends because skincare is really expensive. At least the Instagram one.
Right.
So do a good moisturizer, do a good sunscreen, water, eat less fried. Even if you like don't eat fried stuff. And that's pretty much it. And pray every day. Pray
That
that
you
you get good.
Oh. Okay.
Yeah, that is the thing. I think that's it. I mean,
It's
and
not-
also it's like again, some days I do, some days I don't. But yeah,
Many license.
yeah, exactly. However, like nothing is 100% every day.
Right.
Some days it's not, and that's fine.
Speaking about your life, tell me a little bit more about your Uttar Karnataka essence.
Essence, my
That
roots.
always comes through in most of your work.
I think my childhood is the most important aspect for that because I spent my formative years with my grandparents. I grew up in a tier 2 city away from the city life where everything was, cyclable and, people used to come home without calling.
Yeah.
So we had like a very strong community. My grandmom is somebody who has always maintained relationships with everyone.
Okay.
So they used to, and she's a fantastic cook.
Okay.
She's 82 and she cooks. She enjoys cooking.
Okay.
So, when
What's your favorite dish among hers?
anything, anything my Aji she makes the best besan laddu.
Wow.
I have not eaten anything like that made from it. It's also so nostalgic and
Right.
emotional for me. So I grew up in a very wholesome environment. And I grew, and then when I went to live with my parents, my mother is somebody who has studied in a residential school.
Mhm.
So she is hyper independent person with her own opinions. And my father was somebody who never enforced his opinion on her. So I saw two individuals growing up together. They married really young. They had me really young. So almost like all three of us grew up together.
Okay.
My dad is a Kannadiga, brought up in Rajasthan. So he had a lot of North Indian influence.
Okay.
My mother is from North Karnataka.
Okay.
So it was like sort of a melting point. And I studied in Kendriya Vidyalaya,
Okay.
where I had friends from
All over the place.
all over the country. So it was very wholesome. At the same time, I saw my mother very loud and proud about who she was in terms of
It's
dialect.
interesting, especially at that point in our society,
Yeah,
where I think women were breaking
yeah,
out from what breaking rules in many ways.
yeah.
So yeah, I get what you're saying for that.
So I saw that pride in my mother without talking about it. It's not enough to say that, hey, I'm a very proud Kannadiga. What are you doing about it? My mother did not let go of her dialect because people around her mocked her or laughed at.
Interesting.
Yeah, because anything new you hear, it's similar, right?
Yeah.
I mean, if a person living in UK hears a Irish accent, you will find that weird. You hear any other English accent, you will find it thoda weird. So I am pretty sure that's what she also went through. But she did not give up on her dialect, her dressing. We have these traditional bangles that we wear. She never let go of that. Food, very, very proud of we do this in our house and never shy about it.
Would it be wrong to say that, this is a rare quality among Kannadigas by themselves? Because I don't know if
We do get overshadows, is what you're saying?
Yes.
Might be true.
I feel Kannadigas, we just let people, we'll speak in their language.
That's true, but also I think if you look at the history, we were not invaded.
Yeah.
We never fought for anything.
We don't know what it means.
We don't know what it means. I mean, the other day I was watching this movie, Main Vapas Aaunga.
Yeah.
And I was bawling, okay? Like it was like some aspects of it. But how protected we are in the south of India to be not aware of anything that happened to us. Of course, we've had our own struggles and everything, but historically, we were not invaded. We were very, wholesome state. So I think by nature, we are not very aggressive. But at the same time, I think if given a chance, I think the women will always hold on to what they have. And that's why I think we end up looking up to our mothers for who they are and all of that, right? Like my dad had a mixed cultural background.
Right.
But my mom was very, and I think that really helped me to understand who I am. Like, where do I come from? Like, what are my roots? My grandparents are like this. My mom is this. My dad is this. So it's a privilege to have that kind of a mixed pot in the house.
Right.
Like where you can appreciate Kannada literature, at the same time you can appreciate a Hindi poem or a shairi or whatever. So that way I really think that that's a very big asset that I have. Right. And that has been passed on to me. I want to pass it on as well. Like, it's not that just because you speak a certain language, you should not regard some other language.
Yeah, right.
So I feel that, of course, the Kannada literature is amazing.
Yes.
But at the same time, I mean, literature can never be bad, I guess, because I think they all have written it, so many years back and stuff like that. So I think just an eye for appreciation would help in general, everyone, irrespective of where you're from. Yeah, this is nice. This is also nice. This is also nice. Makes it a little easier to accept.
Right.
Yeah.
So all of that comes into your work.
Yeah. I do want to bring that because that's who I am. I did not grow up watching Kannada movies because my dad had a transferable job and we moved everywhere. We did not have access to Kannada movies.
Okay.
So whatever I watched was because my parents were watching and all of that. So my pop culture reference, as far as Kannada movies are concerned, might be questionable. But I can appreciate a good song, a good, poem or a nice thing that you read or whatever,
Yeah.
So I that's what I bring to my stand-up.
Right.
That I'm not like a hardcore, I don't know if I give that vibe of being a hardcore Kannadiga who is, but I just want to bring all of it together because at the end of the day, here, this is I told you, I'm the heroine. I'll decide what I want to do.
Right.
Yeah.
What about your audiences in Bangalore, in the rest of Karnataka, as opposed to the world?
I'm very, very lucky to have people who really, really are fond of me. It's a very rare thing, because to get emotionally involved with somebody you haven't met is a very huge thing. And then they all feel that, hey, when we hear you talk, it feels like, somebody in our house and all of that. So that's a nice thing.
Yeah.
And I think language has a very huge role to play.
The connect.
Because of the way the characters from North Karnataka were portrayed. It's always a side character, man. And I'm like, come on. Like, so I think that also is one of the things. But that's not the intent with which I do. My intent is
to just go out, be myself,
be funny.
Right.
Everything else, what you say, this Kannada pride, everything is a byproduct.
Right.
But the goal is to just go there and have a good time and be fun. That's pretty much it.
Okay. Would you say you are your biggest critic?
Uh, yeah, I mean, one has to be, I think. Otherwise, you can't be self-indulgent as an artist. Like, yes, maybe you wrote a joke that was great, but then you can't be like, oh, that's this is amazing. No, I mean, move on. I think I've also learned not to be attached to my work. Like, I had a supremely bad day yesterday. I couldn't sleep well because there was money involved and I felt that I couldn't deliver. I feel bad about it. I will feel bad about it for a long time. But then I also detach myself and move on because there's no other way. There's no other way. And the same time, the good thing also, like I have a great show. I feel happy the next day. But then that's not it, right? I mean, you have to continue doing what you're doing.
Yeah.
So you just move on. So that helps. Yeah.
Okay. Makes sense.
Yeah.
How often do you change your, whole show?
The show?
The set.
So the process is generally you write, you test, you do shows, you record it, and then once it's out, it's out. Then you write a new show. Actually, then you should not be writing a new show. You should be writing a new show while this show is somewhat ready. Otherwise, I mean, of course, some people can afford that. Because I'll tell you, as you said, my market is small, right?
Yeah, you have to be
I
at
have
it
to
all
be
the time.
at it all the time. My market is limited. Even if I go and do a show in Bombay, I can't go as often as the Bombay comics come here.
Right.
I can go once or twice.
Right.
And then I'll be done with my Kannada population.
Right.
And then I have to so my market is limited. So you have to constantly keep at it, which is the reason why I also do social media very actively.
Right.
Otherwise, my pure love is only stand-up. And I really hope that I reach a place where I only do stand-up and nothing else.
Lovely.
That's like, that has like monetary, everything has to check.
Yeah.
Then, yeah.
Yeah.
But I also enjoy acting. So I'll do this.
Let's
It's not
get
like
to that also.
Yeah, it's not like I'm doing it out of like pressure or force. But if you ask me to choose between the two, I'll always choose stand-up.
Is it the same situation for all regional comics? Limited
I
to
don't know
only
if-
that language, or should we have like on YouTube maybe subtitles also?
But subtitles will not give you that,
want
that joy. Na? I do have a lot of people who comment saying that, hey, we're learning the language because of you, which I feel very nice about.
That's really cool.
But subtitles in general, for me as an audience, is a deterrent to watch something because my focus is, so I have to read the subtitles once and then I have to watch again to understand the nuances. So comedy is very,
it's more in the moment.
yeah, it's more in the moment. It's very personal. It's very situational. It's very, what do you say? Again, it's a very niche thing also.
So it would be the same for most
I'm pretty
regions.
sure it must be. Also depends on the size of, again, if you go by data, then it would be the size of the state, people who are on social media, people who enjoy comedy. So with every stage, the number of people reduce.
Yes. Yeah.
So yeah. So that's, I think, being a regional comic, that's the downside of it.
Yeah.
But also the bright side is that the love that we get as regional comics is unparalleled. Yeah. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Because you're doing something that is really truly theirs.
Yeah. And it's they feel seen or heard or, represented.
Yeah.
I think we all are looking for that, right?
Correct.
To be to be represented, to be seen from a bigger stage or whatever that is. I think that's what human beings look for, and I think that's when regional comes into play. Yeah,
working.
and also we have no threat whatsoever from AI. It's going to be a while for AI to be funny in Kannada.
Correct.
So good luck with that.
Good to know that.
Yeah.
Okay, some lighter questions.
Yeah.
Slightly.
Yeah.
Whatever. So, is there any joke that has survived every version of your set?
No.
Nothing. You have to change all
You
the
have to
time.
change. See, anything on Bangalore traffic survives.
That is one.
But
Okay.
then, as an artist, you get bored of it. I mean, like the whole world is talking about Bangalore traffic.
Right.
I might talk about something different.
Right.
Might as well do that.
Cool. What's the funniest audience interaction you've had that you could never have scripted? Is there?
Oh, wow. I am not somebody who interacts with the audience.
You don't. Okay.
I don't do that.
Okay.
I'm not skilled enough.
Any situation? Okay.
I
Fair
don't.
enough.
I don't. I'm like, come enjoy and yeah, we'll talk later.
Okay. If there's any one thing that you could roast apart from the traffic, maybe
Yeah.
about Bangalore, and nobody is going to take offense to it.
Yeah.
What is there anything that comes to your mind?
I think we are very laid back.
Yeah. Okay.
Very laid back.
And no one will take offense to how much ever you
No,
clip
because
about
that's
it.
us. No, I mean,
Yeah.
how much can you like? We don't care about competition
Right.
at all.
Right.
That never scares us. That's who we are. So yeah,
Cool. If your radio jockey self
yeah.
met the stand-up comedian self today,
Okay.
is there any advice
Oh no.
can be passed to?
No advice. Just
What would you ask yourself as a radio jockey?
like the radio jockey me asking the comedian.
Yes.
Quit this right now and start this as soon as possible.
Oh.
I feel I should have started much before. I think
Mm.
I was too involved with my radio job.
Hmm.
And also I was scared because there was I did want to become a stand-up comedian, but then there was so much of fear that was inculcated when I said that in the radio station once. How can you? It's so hard. You can't. I mean, it is hard, but
But you can
you can't do it is not something anybody should say.
give it a shot.
Yeah, you should just they should say like do it. Maybe I would have started 2-3 years back.
Mm.
Then I would be in Bombay.
Mm.
Then I wouldn't have met my husband for sure. So it's good. Whatever has happened.
Whatever happens is for the good.
Yeah.
Okay. If you had to write a set, mostly about your daughter now,
Yeah.
anything that you could share, maybe one or two.
She is an avid reader.
Hmm.
And she picks up words without understanding the meaning of it.
Okay. That's
3
already
days
funny
back,
situationally.
3 days back, she called me a freeloader
Okay.
because she
excellent.
read that word somewhere.
Okay.
She wanted to go to a resort in Sakleshpur. I said, and she wanted to go there for a month. Okay, this bougie kids. I said, who will make the money? She said, I want you to sit here and make money, you freeloader. And I was like, I mean, there's only one freeloader in the house.
That's you.
And that's you. So she does this. But she's also, I think, very, now she's going through that thing where she feels that she needs glasses because Amma and Appa have glasses.
And it
So
looks
she's
cool.
making all sorts of stories.
Hmm.
I can't see. It's so blurry. She's whimsical. And I love that about her. I love that about her. She's so crazy. Nice.
Good fun.
Yeah, good fun. Very entertainer she is.
Who's the bigger entertainer now then?
Definitely
home.
her. Because not for validation. No, she's just doing this. Yeah.
Right.
So I love that. The girls are amazing.
Yes, 100%. I
So
agree.
entertaining. Yeah. She'll find a stage, she'll suddenly go and call me. It's time to call your main act. I'm like, okay, let's go.
Oh,
yeah.
amazing.
I mean, it's a great. She's seen two extremes, right? Like when she says my dad is a scientist and my mom is a comedian, it's really hard to put those two worlds together.
Yeah.
So yeah, so
It's an interesting balance out there also.
there's no balance. What
No
balance? There's no balance.
But I did a lot of grounding, lot of fun.
Yeah, it's a lot of fun. It's a lot of fun to be with somebody who is not from your area of work.
Okay.
Who is your audience?
Okay.
Yeah, but because he's like a scientist, he goes into the science of comedy, and then he knows like abhi punchline aayega, abhi aayega. So he
Oh.
predicts that now.
Interesting.
So yeah.
Lovely.
Yeah, it's fun. Yeah.
Great.
Yeah.
Thank you so much.
Thank you so
Soumya.
much.
This was amazing.
Thank
and I
you.
look forward to meeting your husband and your daughter, especially your daughter.
My daughter, she's amazing, yes. But she's what attitude hai.
She needs to have.
Oh my God, don't
For
say
some
that.
time.
No, don't say that. No. But I would love for them to meet you also.
Yeah.
Thank you so much
Thank
for
you.
having
Thank
the
you.
childhood dream, newspaper and education in school. Now, like being interviewed.
Yes, thank you.
Nice.
I'm glad I could make your dreams
Yes,
come
yes.
true.
No, the city has done that
Yes,
enough number of times for me. So that's why I love the place
yes.
and the people. Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah. Thank you. Thank you.